My Botox is disintegrating and I can feel my face on my face. And it's such a weird feeling when you wake up in the morning, your face just feels like it dropped on your face. I don't know how else to explain it. I literally can feel my face on my face. But that is not what we're talking about today. My kids are here. You can probably hear them screaming in the background. Those are the boys, because it is the boys who are rowdy, not Trinity, the girl. Anyway, hey, how's it going? How you doing? How's your week going? You know, it's only Tuesday, but I did not have anything pre-recorded and ready to go today. And I'm like, you know, I gotta keep talking, gotta keep putting things out here, because part of my platform has been to use your voice. And there's so many times where I feel like I just don't have anything to say. I remember when I lived in Tennessee and one of my friends there, she was telling me how much she loved the podcast. And, I said, it's so funny though, because I just feel like there's so many times I just don't have anything to say. And she was like, you have so much to say. You always have. And so, you know, she's right. I never really have ever gotten to a place where I run out of words. I mean, there are times where I think where I've hit a wall and I'm like, I just don't have anything else to say right now. I don't even know what I think right now, but it's very rare. I want to share something with you. Today, I never check my Facebook Messenger ever. In fact, my husband sends me reels on Facebook Messenger all the time. And I'm like, I'm not checking them. Like, send it on Instagram. No offense, but who is on Facebook like that? I just get on there to check, because when I post things on Instagram, it feeds over to Facebook. So every once in a while, I'll get this message that I have notifications waiting for me on Facebook. And then I go, and it's just so much noise. And I've tried to turn off like all the different like notifications, because I don't really care that some group that I'm in posted something. I don't care. I just want to connect with the people that I know, or the people who are interested in chatting with me about Blushing Phoenix, or, you know, coaching or whatever. But I just happened to click on my messenger while I was sitting in a coffee shop, and I was just scrolling through because I have so many unread messages there. And, I want to read this message to you and a post that I put on Instagram today. It says, guess what? I wrote the book. I'm not done, but I wrote the book. All 11 chapters. The intro, the ending, the about, the author, the acknowledgments, all of it. And as I did, I kept seeing your face and hearing your voice. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect will paralyze you. So I barreled through it and I just kept going. Now my focus is going back into chapters with the things I didn't say, forgot to say, or feel the need to expand on and include. Thank you. I wrote the damn book. This is from somebody who I was coaching, forever ago. And I knew it. And when I talked to her and when I met her, I knew that she was very serious about writing a book. I knew she had a book in her. I knew it was there, and she knew it was there. And we spent a little bit of time together going through some of the fears and some of the hindrances and some of the things that were really blocking her. And some of it was time, her job, her family, all the things that everybody is busy with in life. And so I read that today, and she sent this to me forever ago, but I just happened to see it today, and the timing was so perfect to see it. And here's what I posted. I posted a screenshot of that message, and then I said, most people won't do it. They'll talk about it, but they won't actually do it. Maybe they'll start, but they'll get weary. Then they'll get busy. Then they'll get discouraged. Because when you're building, there is no instant gratification. There's no hype. There's no corners to cut. You just have to put your head down without applause, without validation, without an audience, and just do the damn work. It is hard as hell. For me, it's painful, like physically painful, to tell this body to sit right here and write. And most people won't do it. And I know that when I meet them, but I believe for them, I hope for them, I dream for them, but I can't do it for them. It's not time wasted for me, even if they never do it, because I love to help people leave the sidelines and get into the game. Most people won't do it, but sometimes, every now and then, I get a surprise message like this because someone did it. Anything is possible. You are the obstacle. You are the liberation. It felt so good to see that message pop up today, because this was months ago. I messaged her and was like, what happened? Like, where are you at with it now? But the fact that you like got it down and you did it, because, oh my gosh, I don't know if you can hear the boys. If you're on the podcast, you probably can't hear them because I edited it out on the tool that I use on the actual podcast. But if you're on YouTube, Axton and Sway. Just that most people will not do it. They will start, or they'll have the idea, they'll never actually get to the execution part, or they'll get to the execution part and they won't stick with the consistency to keep it going so that something happens. Somebody messaged me the other day and told me, congratulations on all the success on Blushing Phoenix on your YouTube channel. And I'm like, it's not that I don't see it as success. It's that I'm like, this has been 5 years. It's just what I do. It's just, I show up and I speak and I talk here for anybody who might be listening. And I want to share the things that the world teaches me. And it's just a cool thing to be able to have these platforms where you can put things out there for people to listen on and experience you and your thoughts and the way you see the world. Because a lot of times in our own internal spheres, like the people around us in our like day-to-day lives, they don't really get it. And so I know that a lot of times in my work, I don't get to just like openly talk like this because we're working on building something, and it's not really the space for having these types of intellectual conversations like this. And I just wanted to be able to put that out here. But anyway, somebody was like, I'm so grateful for your channel and for the success that you've experienced here. And I'm like, I don't really see it that way. I just see it like I just keep showing up here over the years. And there's been times when I go through seasons that I don't. And there's been times when I go through like seasons where I'm super consistent in what I'm doing. But it's like, even with weight loss or, trying to build muscle, you have to keep showing up. It's not, you can't just eat your high protein and be in your calorie deficit for a day. You don't see the results until you do that thing over and over and over again. And then it compounds and you start seeing results that you were seeking, or they find you all of a sudden. You're like, whoa, my pants are fitting looser. Or, I look up at my YouTube channel and I see like over 3,000 subscribers, and this is with zero marketing efforts besides just like organic traffic and people finding the channel through Blushing Phoenix, erythrophobia, and the other things that I've talked about here. But even when I think about my books and I think about putting my work out into the world, 2 books, it is exhausting. I have every excuse not to have ever written those books, and yet I wrote them. And so I know, because I know how hard it was for me. The first book, Pressing Forward, took me 5 years to actually publish it and get it out into the world. It actually took me 5 years to even write it. And then I just let it like fall to the wayside because I was like, now I'm scared to put it out there. Then once I put it out there, I realized, what the hell am I so afraid of? And then when I wrote my second book, I learned a lot from writing the first book, but I understood my writing style better. But it was still really hard because it is so incredibly hard to do quality work. And I think that that's part of the problem. Like hearing people have all these great ideas and myself having all these great ideas, and then either not being able to execute on them or not being able to stick with them once I do execute on them, because there's no one there on the other side telling you how amazing it is and how helpful it is. You just have to know that you know and keep putting it out into the world. You have to understand. It sounds corny and like buzzwordy, but you have to know your why. Like, why am I actually doing it? Is it for me? What does it do for me? And if it's for others, what does it do for others? Because sometimes the gift, the thing, the art is not really for other people. It's for you. And other people get to benefit from it because you are doing it for you. After I wrote Pressing Forward, I wanted to say, I want to put this book out here so people will have all this hope and this knowing that somebody overcame this thing that was so awful. But really what I recognized was this was not for anybody else. I wrote Pressing Forward for me. I wrote it for me because I was so scared and afraid to put my work out into the world because I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid that people would not like my book. I was afraid I would get negative reviews. I was afraid nobody would buy it. I was afraid that I would be rejected by a publisher, all the different things. And I thought I was rejected by a publisher. And so I didn't, you want to talk about like persistence? I had zero. I was like, well, that's my answer, moving on. But it wasn't until probably like a year later that it hit me that I felt like I really wanted to know why. Why wasn't it received by a publisher? What could I have done better? And I reached back out to the publisher and I asked, and then he wrote back and said, I've never seen this before. And I'd be interested in talking with you more about publishing your book. And I was like, what? But after I put it out there, we got towards the end of the book. He was waiting for the final copy. I kept making edits and edits and edits. And I told him that I just felt like I couldn't do it. I can't like submit it. It's not done. It's not complete. It's not perfect. It's not ready. And he said, art was never meant to be perfected. It was only meant to be abandoned. So now it's time to abandon it. And I had to know that it's not perfect and give it to him to submit it over and let him go ahead and publish it. And so I did. And when I got it in my hands, I realized this was never about anybody else hearing my story and being motivated by my story and being hopeful that somebody would take my story and benefit from it. It was, for me, it was the next stepping stone of me putting my work out into the world. And because I did that for me, other people benefited from the story. People benefit from the story I'm telling you right now. That's not even the book itself, but it's the story about the book. I realized that the book, I haven't read that book in forever, but I'm pretty sure the ending talks about how the whole purpose of that book, Pressing Forward, was the memoir of how I overcame anxiety and depression. But truly, it was about publishing the book. And I write about publishing the book and what that meant for me to release the fear of rejection and perfection and all those things so that I could get that out of the way and just put the work out there. And then that taught my nervous system that you don't die afterwards and that you're fine. So when I wrote my second book, it was so much easier to not be my own obstacle and be in my way for putting the book out there. So I just wanted to share that with you today because I was so encouraged when I saw that this individual said, I did it. I wrote the book. I did it. And I could just hear you and see you saying to me that it's not like perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect because that's only going to paralyze you. Like that is just like that ripple effect of sitting with somebody who so deeply was convicted that they needed to tell their story and write their book. And then I haven't heard from her in a while. And then I see this message that came back, months ago telling me that she did it. And then thanking me for coming alongside her on that journey, even though I wasn't there for her to actually have the breakthrough and push through to the other side to actually complete the book. You can do the thing that you want to do. You just have to do it. And I say this to myself too, because I get in these moods sometimes where there's all these things I want to do. Like today, I'm sitting in an office. I'm listening to two businessmen have a conversation about investments and building businesses. And I hear all this and I know what's possible. And I know that for myself as a person who is an entrepreneurial spirit, who wants to build businesses or join alongside other people who want to build businesses, that there's so much opportunity. There's so much that can be done. There's so much that I could do myself if I would stop being my obstacle and start being my liberation. And that doesn't mean that today is the day that everything needs to happen, but it just means that the idea that somebody out there is holding us back, or finances are holding us back, or timing is holding us back, or age is holding us back, whatever you think is holding you back, it's you. And because you either find peace in where you are right now, and who you are right now, and what you've got going on right now, or there is something that is gnawing at you every single day and you cannot shake it because you know you're supposed to be doing something, and start doing that thing. Because I think a lot of times we think, well, I want to be a business owner. So you think today that you need to have this empire, this multi-million-dollar company, but you don't think about how today maybe you just need to interact with your email list, or maybe today you just need to interact with people on, what is it, Instagram or LinkedIn or wherever your community is. You just need to be interacting with them. I had somebody reach out to me the other day who found me through Blushing Phoenix, and she was just asking for my advice on something. And I said, if you have some time, let's just jump on a Zoom and talk at no cost. Like, I just want to, this is a little easier to talk about, in person, quote unquote, or over Zoom, as opposed to me giving you some watered down response through a message on Link or whatever the social app was. I think it was with Instagram, because I need to hear a little more context about what you've got going on to share my perspective with you. And she was so grateful for it. She was like, oh my gosh, that's so like generous of you to do that. But that's where you can start. You can start with those things. I think that the social media world and the digital economy has taught us that if you're not scaling some big ass business, then you're not being successful in what you're doing. But sometimes you're being successful in a newsletter. You're being successful because you're showing up to your art, to your gift. And I think that as we pour into those things that we want to do, whether that's writing a book, whether that is starting a YouTube channel, whether that is pursuing your consulting business, or that is you want to get fit and build muscle, you just got to do the damn work. And I hear myself saying that because there's a lot of things I want to, and I know I got to do the damn work. And when I ask myself, do I want to do the damn work? The answer is yes or no. There is no way to cut the corners. Either you do the work and you'll get the result, or you don't do the work and you don't get the result. So it's like, there are certain things that I've realized at this season of my life that I just don't want to do the work. And because I don't want to do the work, I'm not going to get the outcome. And I'm at peace with that for today. Some stuff I realize I'm like, it's just not a now thing. That doesn't have to happen today. But the things that eat at me, that when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking about them, or I'm going about my day and it is visiting me, that thing is visiting me saying, come pursue the thing. You just know what you need to do. You just need to do it. You just got to get out of your own way. Those are the things I'm talking about. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's the same thing that knocks at you and it chips away at you, and you feel it even when you try to distract yourself and say, now is not the time, and I'm good and I'm at peace. And then it comes back and you can't shake it. And you can't shake it because it's an invitation. It is telling you, you are the obstacle, but it's also reminding you, you are the liberation. So go set yourself free. Set yourself free in knowing that you need to pursue the thing and do the thing consistently, or set yourself free by knowing that now is just not the time, but that doesn't mean I'm running out of time. And that doesn't mean that this opportunity has passed me by. You know your answer. You are your obstacle. You are your liberation.